and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, feel free to contact me. Those of you who have properties to sell or looking for a property to buy, you can also get in touch with me. And if you're letting your friend and your family you had in cash and you cannot get it back, feel free to contact Real Talk, that collection department. Now, viewers, you can reach us at 238-6716 or 339-1670. I must say a special good night to you, the viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of you that are on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali page, like and share as we go live. Now, viewers, we keep you up to date on our page with incidents that happen throughout the day in Trinidad and Tobago. So feel free to like and share our page, encourage your friends, your family, your neighbors, your boss man, your co-workers. Tell them about Real Talk with Saieed Ali, because we are presently the third best newscast in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, and to be the third, which means we're fighting among the big guns and them. You know, we're competing among the big guns and them. So, from 6 to 8, we are the second most viewed in Trinidad and Tobago. So, which means, viewers, Real Talk is doing something in Trinidad and Tobago that is attracting the eyes, that is attracting the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We are attracting the ministers, those in authority. So, let your friends and family know about Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So, call them up. Let them know Real Talk is starting right now on Synergy TV. So, viewers, I do apologize for not being here Monday night on election night. You know, I decided to give everybody a break. Let's just hear what the election have to say. The polls, the people, you know, everybody will be focused on elections. So like I said, I do apologize, but nevertheless, we are here tonight, Tuesday night. I want to hear from you of what do you think concerning the 2020 general election in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Be very, very careful with your words. There are little children that are locked on to Real Talk. And if you are a caller and you call in to this program and you start to use obscene and racist word, just imagine if you are not home and your kids are watching television and they hear the remarks that you would be using. Imagine how your little one will feel. Imagine how they would feel. So viewers, feel free to call in as our program continues tonight. 238-6716. So, update on the COVID. The Ministry of Health latest release shows 19 new cases from August 7th to present. 6 were tested positive at private labs. 8 cases are pending investigations, and 5 cases is a contact of a recently positive COVID-19 patient. The total number of cases now stands at 300. That is an update for you viewers concerning the COVID. But our real thing is tonight is about the election. Now listen to this. I want to hear your votes. I want to hear what you have to say. Tonight is about EBC. We are not bad talking them, you know. But there are some facts I think that needs to be straightened out. It's not concerning the PNM. It is not concerning the UNC. Now, EBC says it will take days. It will take days to do a recount. We will go into it. Cora update. Real Talk has once again gotten inside information from the Cora facility. Patients and even some staff members have raised concerns over the sanitation measures at the Cora facility. Just yesterday being Monday, patients on the ward 10D have had to endure unbearable condition as they did not have any access to water. These frustrated patients could not bathe, wash hands, or even use the toilets. Just imagine that. This is Cora Hospital. This is the hospital that was designated by the Ministry of Health to house patients, victims of COVID-19. And we are having this problem. Now, this story comes from patients of the Cora facility who have gotten in touch with us. And they are relating what they are going through. Just imagine staff members too. Just imagine that $150 million was spent in COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. And yesterday, patients and staff were complaining. They were complaining of the condition of what they have to endure. All you think is right? You all think that is right? $150 million, according to the MPs, was spent. Thus far, the report is $284 million have been spent in the social part, the grants and whatever they have to give out. And up to now, people are still complaining. They are still complaining. Patients made several complaints to the nurses who indicate that they were waiting on the fire service to supply water as the tanks at the facility were empty. Quarantine itself is frustrating enough. However, we can have better facilities to accommodate patients. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. With all the millions allegedly spent on COVID, why are patients suffering at the quarantine facility? And we would hear the ministers and the medical expertise coming out on televisions and keeping their briefing and only giving us update and update and update. Update. But the patients and staff are complaining about the conditions. They wouldn't come out and say that. They wouldn't come out and say that. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
I just heard you said that people are suffering in the facilities, but what about the entire Trinidad under this government? We are going to suffer. My uncle also received a paying card, and he would have died over 16 years ago. What do we do in an instance like that?
I understand what you're saying, my dear. I understand. You know, it's sad, you know, boy. It's sad, you know. They're coming out and they're giving you updates. Now, this COVID case is starting to spring up in Trinidad and Tobago. It is starting to spring up. So, like I said, the 4 or 5 months gone there where they said I was quarantining people and they had everything under control. Let me tell you something. The real control now, the real fight against COVID is now. Not when they bring in people and they secure them. And no, the real fight is now because it is popping up all over Trinidad. All over. So listen to this. Minister of Health Terence Dialton responded to a report that his daughter-in-law was allowed to return to Trinidad on Sunday, 9th of August, after she was exposed to a COVID-19 positive patient in Tobago. Dialton noted that afternoon his daughter-in-law attended the wedding. A friend contacted her and informed her that there was a positive COVID-19 case at the Tobago wedding. However, the Alsing indicated that his daughter-in-law did not stay at the Tropicus Hotel, which is where the wedding, which is where the COVID-19 positive patient was confirmed. It was confirmed. The Alsing noted that there was no breach of any COVID-19 protocols. He further noted that his daughter-in-law, a medical practitioner, acted responsibly and immediately went into self-quarantine or self-isolation. She was then allowed to board a plane and return. Listen carefully, Listen carefully. He further noted that his daughter-in-law, a medical practitioner, acted responsibly and immediately went into self-isolation. She was then allowed to board a plane. She went into self-isolation, but then she was allowed to board a plane and return to Trinidad, hence putting others at risk. Self-isolation. Did she stay in Tobago for 14 days? 14 days is one night and a day. Is 14 days 24 hours? You know what's the worst part? A medical practitioner. That is the worst part. We ain't bad talking, I ain't bad talking nobody. But somebody told you there were a COVID-19 patient. You being a medical practitioner, you would go for a test. You would go for a test. Because you're not sure if you contacted the virus or not. And then you would isolate or go into self-quarantine in Tobago. In Tobago. Not board a plane and come down to Trinidad where you put the whole plane now at risk. Everybody in that plane now is at risk. Are we talking about medical practitioner? I think Tropicus is locked down for the next 14 days. For the next 14 days. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Doing listeners and everybody. The winning party, do the old saying, they put their hand in a cookie jar?
I understand what you're saying. Thank you, caller. But from 7:30, we're dealing with EBC onwards. So my question is now, how it is that she was allowed to now return to Trinidad and not quarantine in Tobago? Upon arrival in Trinidad, was she quarantined for 14 days? Come on, somebody say something. Somebody say something. You went to a wedding. Somebody tell you to have a COVID-19 patient. You weren't sure. You went into self-isolation for how much? A few hours? And after a few hours, you was allowed to board a plane and fly back to Trinidad. So let's just say you contacted the virus in Tobago. Let's just say you board the plane. Each individual on the plane will be contaminated. Each person on the plane. And then you come down to Trinidad now. You come down to Trinidad and you're walking through everything as normal. As normal. And on top of that now, you're going home as normal. And then you're going into 14 days quarantine in your house. Any part of that make sense? Being practitioners of medicine, knowing how the virus running, knowing the spike in the virus. Come, Mr. Dialson, come out and let the people know what went on. Is she in quarantine in Trinidad? And if yes, why Trinidad and not Tobago? Caller, good night. Hello?
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead.
I want to say that the outing and them is very unfair to people. His daughter-in-law was able to fly back and come to Trinidad. My niece, my nephew, my brother-in-law, and my sister is in Tobago because of her dotish conduct in quarantine. You understand? And he have no shame to come this morning to say his daughter-in-law was not in trafficking. My brother-in-law, my sister, my niece and nephew is locked down in trafficking. So what nonsense is that?
Thank you, my dear, for highlighting your situation. So you see, viewers, I want to let you understand. And now they're going to come out in a broadcast on morning and say the people not adhering to the rules and regulations of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. That is the first thing that they say. They will blame the citizen. You tell them, oh God, all are not adhering, and according to the minister, oh, it's the bars and it's the restaurant. Really? What's going on here now? What's going on here now? What about if a whole plane now? A plane load of people now came in contact with COVID-19. What are you going to do? Well, boy, by the grace of God, I just hope she ain't get it. Serious. By the grace of God, Mr. Dialsing, I hope your daughter-in-law is not a victim of it. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed.
Right ahead.
There is some discrepancies, a lot of discrepancy. How could the Prime Minister prematurely, before why is results still coming, if he was privy to certain information by the EBC? I don't know, I'm asking, you know. We have an election in a country. You have so much people outside of the country. Was it right to call an election? You know, there are so much people in quarantine. Couldn't the EBC set up something or anything for these people to vote? You know, the Prime Minister complained when the Law Association had voted for impeachment of this teacher. He said, no, that is not, that Law Association have so much people and only so much voted, so that is not good. What about now? Do you have any figures as to the popular vote? That is one question. Secondly, it will be a very sad day for Trinidad and Tobago because looking at the policies of the two leaders, the UNC stand out, you know, for development of the country. And if it is indeed those results are correct, it is sad to know because we see tribal politics in place, which I think is very, very dangerous. It tells any incumbent government, once you have people of your kind to support you, you could do what you want to do and you would still be back. I think that is a dangerous precedent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. So if you ask when it's 6:30, we're going for a break, but listen this. Listen this. Political leader of the UNC, Kamala Prasad-Bisesa, has requested that the Election and Boundaries Commission, EBC, recount votes for 5 marginal constituencies. According to the election figures, the margins of victory for the PNM in the 5 seats were in some instance less than 5,000 to 1,000 votes. According to political observers, this was not the representations of all the ballots which were counted. In a UNC news conference today, Representative for Tabakit, Anita Haynes, announced the 5 seats that were seeking for recounts.
We are seeking recounts in San Fernando West, Toco, Sangre Grande, La Joquita, Talparo, St. Joseph, and Tunapuna. So that's the 5 seats that we are seeking recounting at this moment.
Haynes further noted that recount, not a few seats were expected to begin today and continue tomorrow.
3 p.m. today, we will have the recounts taking place in Toco, Sangre Grande, in San Fernando West, and in St. Joseph. And then the others will take place tomorrow, I believe.
On Monday night, Kamala Prasad Bisesa stated that the UNC is not accepting defeat and will challenge the result. The 2020 general election results indicate that the PNM won 22 seats while the UNC won 19 seats. Caller, good night.
Hello.
Good night, go right ahead.
Yes, good night. Well, right now, the doctors who was with the Asing daughter-in-law, they quarantined in Tobago together with my son.
So they, hold on, my dear, just stay on the line. Your friends is quarantined in Tobago?
Yes, and 7 other doctors.
Wow. Now, I would believe,
at the wedding.
I want to believe this is accurate information since this is concerning your son.
Yes.
Thank you. So, while
yes.
they are quarantined in Tobago, the daughter-in-law is in Trinidad.
Yeah, his one is in Trinidad.
My dear, I do hope that your son really do not catch the COVID-19.
I hope so too.
Thank you, my dear, and thank you for calling in and sharing real-time information on Real Talk. So I want to hear now what Mr. Terence Yasing have to say. Terence! I want to hear you now. Because we know how much doctors in quarantine, and we know it is with a caller's son. That is where you call Real Talk with Saieed Ali. And this is what you're viewing. Real Talk, where revelations come to us on our show. So Trinidad and Tobago could be aware of it. Watchmen, no wonder why we make it number 3. The 3rd best news forecast in Trinidad and Tobago. I tell you, if we had quarter or half of the finance those big guns have, imagine what we go do. What we go do? So viewers, it's almost 6:30. We are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back from that break, we're going to talk EBC. See you after this break.
Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers for all your 4x4, SUV and car accessories. We also have in stock a large variety of rims to suit all your vehicular needs, new arrivals of 4x4 off-road accessories, and we are the sole distributor of TWI 4x4 accessories. Check us out at number 3 Hassan Ali Trace, South Lower Barrackport, or contact us at 654-5234, 289-4901, 271-3519 or 360-8773. We guarantee the best customer service, best deals, and definitely the best wheels. Martha Imports Limited. We put our customers first. Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. You could still send a message to your friend and your family, tell them Real Talk is going on. They will still see half of the show. So listen to this. Chief Election Officer Fern Narscope has informed the media that the EBC has received many requests for recounts in marginal constituencies. The EBC CEO verified that the recount will start at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, 11th of August. Ms. Scope was unable to give a clear indication as to when the result would be available. Follow me closely, eh? she would not say, or she have no idea of when the result will be available. This means the EBC cannot post the official results of the office of the president to allow swearing in of a new PNM administration. Listen this. Listen this and follow me very, very close. She cannot give a time frame of when the result will be available. Good. At 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Monday afternoon, all polling stations were closed. But if you're in the compound, you would have been able to vote. So by 10 o'clock, between 10 and 11, figures were showing that the PNM were 22 seats and the UNC were 19 seats. So they closed from 6. Let's just say they start counting ballots from 7 o'clock. I want somebody hear me out and see if this making sense to you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. In a couple hours, let's just say from 7 to 10, 7 to 11, votes could have been counted and we could have known how many seats, which party wins how many seats. And the Prime Minister up and declare that the PNM is victorious. Follow me closely. Follow me closely. That is out in the public domain, right? Couple hours to check, and we could have known which party won so many seats. But released today now from EBC that it might take days to do the recount. Why is it taking days to do the recount? When you all did a count, let's say from 7 to 11, and Trinidad and Tobago could have known which party had more seats than which party. So why is it taking days now? Could somebody answer that? Could an EBC officer call in and explain this scenario a little more? Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay.
A little under the weather, but I'm there.
Okay, listen, I saw a video on Facebook where Faris Arwari had a document in his hand going to somewhere in Marabella. Is that EBC or I don't know. However, when he came out of the place, and he was accompanied by policemen.
I saw the video.
Right. Okay, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Two, how the last election in 15, Tarpa, Rola, Hocketa, that's where I live, they were the deciding vote. Last minute, it just fly up.
Uh-huh.
Right? Toko Sandy Grande was going all right. Quite suddenly, 3,000 something votes just appeared after 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Say that ain't looking right.
I heard something about the Toko Sandy Grande councillor. I mean the MP who they said newly elected. I got a little S.
Right.
We hoping the S is not the real S, but if the S turned into a T, well, that spelled trouble.
Yes, but these people so clever. You understand? They're too clever. But the people of Trinidad and Tobago, when they start to catch what God gives them, right, then they will understand, because one man started to bawl and cry. 4 years they're working and he can't even give insurance.
I saw the video on Facebook.
Right. However, okay, the third thing is, somebody gave me a little clue that a past PNM MP, his daughter is working EBC, EBS or whatever. right? I don't know if that's true, but I'm just telling you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you for the information. So would somebody verify this? How it is ABC is taking days now to do the recounts of the votes, when in a couple of hours you could have said which party have how many seats. And we have the Prime Minister now declaring that the PNM has won. Does he have the authorization to declare himself? I don't know, I'm just asking. We are seeking information from the public domain. That is what we are seeking, to clarify this issue in Trinidad and Tobago. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead, sir.
Said, no matter in our history, there has never been a situation where a recount has changed the decision of the election. So I don't see any recount changing the decision that was made that the PNM has won the election, right? But I just always say, a country and the citizens just get the government that they deserve. And after that 5 years that we went through with this PNM government, and people decided that they want another 5 years of this government, I hope that from now on, people won't be calling in your program and be complaining about water and roads and hardship in the country, situations in the hospitals, loss of jobs, who committing suicide, the crime rate, the education system, all these complaints that they were complaining in the last 5 years. And they decide here what? We want back this government in power. We want another 5 years of this government in power. And the Prime Minister made the statement already that brace for the first 2 years is hard times coming. So I hope the population is ready and they have their rations prepared for this next 2 years, because they cannot blame nobody else but themselves. Have a good evening, Mr. Said, and enjoy the rest of your program.
Thank you, my friend. Well, the people have spoken. The people have spoken. Now, I am not going to say on television, congratulations to the UNC or congratulations to the PNM. Because the EBC is yet to give a final report. What I would say is that thanks to the two parties and EBC and the police officers, that there were not much incidents occurred during the election. So that is what I want to thank them for. Listen this. Leaders of the People National Movement, the PNM, Dr. Keith Rowley addressed the nation following his victory speech in yesterday's 2020 general election. He was speaking at Balize House in Port of Spain. Dr. Rowley made the announcement that although difficult days are ahead, citizens should be hopeful.
What does the future hold? The future in Trinidad and Tobago is bright. We have some difficult days ahead, but as dark clouds may bring showers, thunderstorm, and lightning, behind that is the bright sunshine and the warmth. So the passage of the storm is to be survived.
On election night, he declared himself a winner. I'm still waiting for the EBC to actually come out and say, well, the PNM has won 23 seats and the UNC have won 20 seats. I am waiting on the results of the EBC and not anybody else outside the Election and Boundaries Commission. So citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, do not judge that UNC win or PNM win. No, wait. Hold on until the EBC does their recount, and then we will know what is happening from there. Caller, good night.
Yeah, hello. Ali, good night.
You're live on Real Talk, right ahead.
Okay, now it's the fastest count I ever see in politics since I was in politics, so I've been around, you know. The countdown was so, I went, me and the father was like, so when he left, I said, man, let me go and sit down now and take anything. He said, I come back inside. I just hear this man talking about even election. I said, right now, about 10 o'clock, them things go 11 or 12. Yeah, I was shocked. I was really, I can't understand that at all. Up to this, and you see what you mentioned there on what you mentioned about the rain and the dark cloud, and then I faced the rising sun. Okay, Ali, you mentioned the rising sun after, you know. You talk about the cloud and the rain and all kind of things, you said dark cloud. But the last thing you say about the rising sun. Have a good night, Ali. Rising sun.
Thank you, my friend. Sun. Well, every morning, you know, the sun has to rise. Otherwise, we would be in darkness. Trinidad and Tobago, according to Dr. Keith Rowley, there are dark days ahead. There are dark days ahead. So if you have reached to the end of your belt, let me tell you something. Bow and exhale. Bow and exhale. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, the citizens. While the Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, has congratulated his officers for their professionalism conduct during the 2020 general election, Griffith noted that almost 95% of police officers turned out for duty in light of yesterday's general elections. Griffith noted that officers reported for duty as early as 2 a.m. and worked until every polling station had completed the counting of votes yesterday. So like I said, I want to thank the TTPS, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, for demonstrating to the public that we can keep Trinidad and Tobago safe during the elections in Trinidad, but not only on elections, throughout the year. Throughout the year. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, sir.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk there.
Okay. He said behind a dark cloud is a silver lining. Probably when he loses election, then it will be silver lining. Another thing is that I never saw my life, last 5 years, Mr. Rowley went the same way and said that he wins. And then the first went to him, so it's not a surprise. He's just like an obedient man because he knows everything. The man, I never see counts like that. Julian John is one of them. Paris was looted. I forgot his name, but they just like a magic. The cost goes to 4,000, 2,000 in Sandy Grande, and the other one going up to 500. Just like a magic from the time he started to talk. So that is something they have to look into.
Thank you, my friend. Keep the calls coming in, viewers. Earlier today, a Venezuelan woman was raped, stabbed, and left for dead in the Debe area. The 18-year-old victim, a vendor, was on her way to sell in San Fernando when the incident happened. She indicated to officers that she boarded a PH taxi in Siparia with a driver and 2 other passengers. She noted that she was attacked and then dumped at the side of a gravel road as the driver sped off. Reports indicate that around 2 p.m., a taxi driver observed a woman lying on the side of the road of the M2 Ring Road. He stopped his vehicle and contacted the police and ambulance. The victim's face and clothing were covered with blood, as she also sustained stab wounds to her hands and face. The victim is now warded at the San Fernando General Hospital in critical condition. A search is being carried out for 3 men in connection with the incident. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
You're live on Real Talk, go right ahead.
Good night, sir. I just want to let the viewers know the EBC of Trinidad and Tobago is for the PNN.
Thank you, my friend. How is the EBC taking days to do a recount of 5 marginal seats, which Kamala Prasad Bisesa have asked for a recount? But you could have given all the seats. How many persons voted throughout Trinidad and Tobago in a couple of hours? Caller, good night. So viewers, like I said, I cannot say congratulations to the PNM or the UNC in who winning the election. We will have to wait until the recount is final, and then we will know which party won which seat and which party won the 2020 general election. Until then, I am awaiting the results from the EBC. The President of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Paula May Weeks, is also waiting on the results from the EBC in order to swear in the new government for the 2020 general election. Caller, good night.
Hello?
Right ahead.
Hi, good night. Mr. Saeed. Yes, I want to find out if anybody call and find out and say anything about in the Kelly Village area. It had some Spanish people went to vote too, because I was passing and I see Spanish people coming out to primary school.
In what area?
By the traffic light.
In what area?
That's in Kelly Village.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, thank you, caller. I understand that there are Spanish nationals who lives in Trinidad and Tobago who are descendants of Spanish. You know, like, let's just say I go to Barbados and I got married in Barbados and my wife get pregnant in Barbados. She's a Barbadian, and I bring her to Trinidad. You know, my son or my daughter would be born in Trinidad. They would be of a Trinidad national. I know that. But to say of the thousands of immigrants that came into Trinidad, whoever had the one-year card, they were not allowed to vote. Just for your information. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Yeah. Piparo and Lahokita Sunday night, the PNM pay people to vote. And Lagomin, it's a Spanish voting. The PNM is the worst that thief in this election. Everybody has to be checking up themselves on this.
Thank you, my friend. Now the views of the people, that is their concern, as long as they do not vulgar on the airwave. That would raise my concern. So viewers, let's just hope in the coming days that the EBC will give us some results on 2219 or 2320 or 2020 or something like that. You know, tonight I'm a little under the weather. The Sahara dust on my throat, you know, it is prevent me from a mashup scene now, you know. Call a good night.
Good night, sir. So where was Faris with all those police guarding them in Marabella there in the electrical laundry information? Where Faris was doing? What all those papers in his hand to the police officers?
I understand what you're saying. We have the video? Yes, I saw the video where Faris was in the, I believe, an EBC office in Marabella there. So I myself, when I saw the video, I was wondering, what was he doing there? Or what is he doing there? He was supposed to be in his constituency. So viewers, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said that there are dark days ahead. There are dark days ahead. So here it is, viewers. Is there anybody? Now, before I go to the statement, the Princestown Court have moved to Rio Claro. Matters in Rio Claro are from 9 to 12, and I believe it's from 1 to 4 or 5. The Princestown will have their court up there. So what I want to find out is, how long does it take to get an extract of a case matter? Because here what happened, eh? Here what happened. We have a call on the line. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Yes, Mr. Saeed. I got a complaint yesterday where I voted there. Somebody saw the person in charge of the ballot box was pushing ballot inside
the box?
Anybody. Yes, inside the box.
Someone told you this?
Yes.
No, but you did not see it for yourself?
No, I was saying about my voting yesterday.
Okay, well, to be honest, we cannot verify that. If you say that you see it for yourself, it was something different, because I will tell you something. He say, and she say, and them say, is a whole lot of say. And what we bring on Real Talk is the facts. You see how the caller call and say, Saeed, my son is in Tobago with doctor's quarantine? That is facts. So here it is. You have somebody who working for me presently. They did their exam, they did their test, and they're moving on to my intelligence unit. Now this person applied for an extract from the court. The Princestown Court is presently residing in Rio Claro from 1 to 4. It's about 6 weeks now. This individual applied for an extract from the court. Now he spoke to a woman, and the woman said he will get it in 2 weeks' time. It's been 6 weeks now. 6 weeks now that this individual is waiting for an extract. Is there anybody in the Princestown Court that is working in Rio Claro could assist me what I want to find out is how long does it take to get an extract of a case matter? Now the extract of a case, right, is to take back to CID department so that they could clear, they could dismiss the matter from the system so that when you apply for a COC, it would come clean. The guy never break jail. He's never been convicted. And it's 6 weeks now. Could somebody render some assistance? Because he is moving from a job spec, from one job to the other. And the position is presently being hold. It is on hold. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
I must want to tell you an excellent job you've been doing. Head of the class.
Thank you.
But my issue is this. To see how slack this country is, Mr. Saeed. How could, in 2020, the EBC could be sending out polling cards to dead people? I want to know if the EBC, the legal affairs, these government entities do not work together to say, hey, this person dead long time, you cannot send out. Mr. Saeed, what is this? Now, I said I'm not politically affiliated, but I witnessed this, and it raised red flags. This cannot be acceptable. How could it be acceptable in this day and age? And people sitting down and taking these things.
Yes.
Now, when I say this, seeing these things, it really goes to show the type of society we really have in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Saeed.
True, true.
I'm telling you, it's poor.
Thank you, my friend. I understand what you're saying. So, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but I'll be with you right after this break.
Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers for all your 4x4, SUV and car accessories. We also have in stock a large variety of rims to suit all your vehicular needs, new arrivals of 4x4 off-road accessories, and we are the sole distributor of TWI 4x4 accessories. Check us out at number 3 Hassan Ali Trace, South Lower Barrackport, or contact us at 654-5234, 289-4901, 271-3519 or 360-8773. We guarantee the best customer service, best deals and definitely the best wheels. Martha Imports Limited. We put our customers first. Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. So could somebody from the Princeton Court that is dwelling in the Rio Claro Court presently, since they have a two-shift system, could somebody please assist me? Could the JP, could a clerk, could somebody in authority help out this individual? Now we're talking about a job here. We're talking about a job. How long does it wait? Or how long does one have to wait to get an extract? How long? You know, sometimes I wonder, you know. I wonder sometimes. It's sad. 6 weeks now. 6 weeks. And every time the individual call, it's that we are working on it, we are working on it, we are working on it. And to his surprise, today they took back the information from the gentleman and they still tell him they are still working on it. So could somebody in authority please call me tomorrow, 339-1670 or 238-6716 and ask to speak to me, Saeed, so we could help out this gentleman get a proper job. And you know the thing is, the gentleman is moving from a job spec from 4,000 to 12,000. Just imagine that. The individual is better in himself, but yet his job is on pause. And on top of that now, The person who's supposed to leave the Rio Claro and come down in the Princeton court now to get the extract, he on vacation is what I heard. So who actually is in charge of getting the bloody hell extract to citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? I mean, this is the kind of thing we had to go through in 2020? Eh? Just imagine that. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, tomorrow is our next day. Be safe. Until we meet again, good night.